welcome back. I am doing something that I've been thinking on way too long. This is an IKEA, that's what, Lazy Susan, that I've actually gone ahead and I've primed it. I used, I didn't use gesso, I used Rust-Oleum Universal Bonding Primer. Let me make sure you're still in the centered in the picture. I should have, yeah, you're sort of centered. Hopefully this looks right when it gets done. And I'm going to do a negative space and a flip cup. It's been eons, so let's hope that the poor gods are on my favor, that it comes out somewhat the way I want. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pour, or put, these paints have been mixed up. They've been mixed up quite a long time, but they're still good. No silicones added in them. I don't add silicone when they're stored like this. I just don't think, that's just my preference. Great mix still. So, hello. So I'm not thinking well today, whatever. I do not put silicone in my white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this a little different than normal. I'm not putting white on in my cup. I'm just going to put some of my colors in my cup. And I'm going to make a second cup, so should I need it. And then I'll put in between a layer or two. Why I'm ladling this out is I'm trying not, well, it's not going to work. I'm still going to get stuff dripping off the edge of my container. I was trying to keep it so I could keep the container's lip clean. This will not take a lot of paint, but I do want to have a partial cup made up, so if I need a little more, I've got it. And I'm going to pour it in the same, or prep it in the same order. It has been, I'm sitting here thinking it's been quite a while since I've done a pour. Did an experiment earlier to see if it would work. Didn't like it, so now we're going to do it this way. So yeah, I didn't keep that video. No, it wasn't worth showing. So we've got kind of a rainy Sunday. It's my dog is out in the yard going to get muddy, it looks like. I'm going to stop you and I'll be back. Okay. Had to let the dog back in. There's something out there she keeps thinking, looks like she's trying to eat. I don't know what it is, and it's muddy enough I'm just not going out there yet. This is that cobalt teal I love, and yeah, it's perfect. After I put this one in, I'm going to put a drop of silicone and do one stir. Actually, I probably won't stir until I'm completely done, but I'm going to put one drop of silicone in. Paper towel. And if you hear any strange sound, it's the dishwasher in the background. It's a pretty quiet dishwasher, honestly. I'm sitting right behind it, and it's not too loud. Got my painting top back on today. Set that aside so if I decide I need more. And here we go. One little drop. One drop there. If you look here, you can see the drop of silicone right in the center. There you go, see? See? Did you focus? See? Okay, now focus back down here. Shouldn't have bumped the camera. I gotta remember that that's not a good idea. I'm new to the camera up high. Bear with me, people, please. Next is my indigo. This is Lucas Krill. The crimson that was Algerian crimson was Lucas Krill. The metallic cobalt is Artist Loft. When I'm done with this project, I will be resining it. That might be a little thick. We'll see. If it is, it'll be fine. It'll work. Nope, it's just fine. Just because I was trying not to. One thing I will say about that primer I used, it added a little texture. We'll see how that, I don't think it's going to hurt any worse than the texture of a canvas. I just put that lid back on when it had wet paint. Yuck. Try not to do that so that it doesn't get stuck. And I don't have to play he-woman to get the lid off. There we go. I was talking about the weather. Hopefully you guys are having, well, I'm not complaining. It's warm. I'm not complaining at all just because we have rain and mud now. We're headed into next week. It looks like we're going to end up with some snow shower rain. We're not going to have the cold, which is a very nice break. And here, this Indian yellow is one of my favorite colors, and I mean favorite colors. It reminds me of Indian corn. Maybe that's why they call it Indian yellow. And I just dripped on the top. That's good. Trying not to do that, and I did it. Okay. Wipe that one off in a minute. Okay, just wipe the bottom. Need to get my baby wipes out. Have not needed to use them when I did alcohol ink because baby wipes won't wipe alcohol ink off. So I'm going to put one more drop, just tiny, make sure it's only one drop. There we go. So there's a total of 2, and I mean 2 small, barely. The minute it starts to form the drop to drop off, I quit. Like right there. So there's very little silicone being put in here. And I'm going to take this, as you see, this is sort of put down a little mixing, but I'm going to take this and do that. And do the same thing here. Set that aside. We're going to wipe my palette knife off my hand. And I need to get, because I had to wipe that off a minute ago. I had to get my large icing like spatula. We're going to go ahead and wipe that off. Won't hurt if there's a little there, but I really didn't want yellow spread throughout the whole thing. Now I'm going to put a layer of white down. I'm done with this project, it's going to have to sit here because I don't have any place to set this one right this moment. I might come up with a place later. This is just Artist Loft White. Or no. Fuzz. Ah! Where is that fuzz coming from? No, this is my house paint, and it's Valspar inexpensive house paint that I've mixed with floetrol. Basically, it's pretty close to 1-to-1, I think. I don't remember exactly. I don't measure. As I've said many times before, I do not measure my mix. I just eyeball it. And I'm floating, you know, like I like to have a little so that as I go around, and this is going to run off here, my paint, my colors have a chance to get underneath it a little. Which I will do the, like I've done, if you've watched any of my other videos, this is going to be very similar to a flip and drag. I'll put a little white paint around the cup once I turn it over. Difference is, this is a hard surface. This is not a, like a canvas that'll give some in places at times if you push too hard. So it'll be kind of nice. It'll be a different experiment for me. And I'm going to will torch this here a little just to get rid of some of the bubbles that are already in it, I see. Okay. I know there's many people that have done the round ones. I've seen some, so you know, I'm not. It may be like somebody else. This how I do this may be similar to how somebody else has done it. So believe me, I'm not claiming it's my own. Just an idea. But they end up being your own because of the fact that you can't, I mean, there is no way to totally control fluid art. That's part of the beauty of fluid art. It's abstract. I much prefer an uncontrolled abstract than somebody trying to attain an abstract. And I'm a believer, if we listen to the paint, it tells us what should be done next, where it should go, what it wants to do. So here we go. We're going to do, I think I may do 2. We'll see. I can always add that later. Oops, shoot. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Cup squoze. We're going to put this over it anyway. Here we go. And we're going to start walking it. May have to use that other just to make it look not like a round circle. I think I'm going to. Let me get this to full in though. My white paint, I think, may be a little thicker today. tip, we're going to do a different one. We're going to add this because I want a different feel. I want not just this going this way, but I'll bring something out and around. It's going to go right through what it was in before. We're going to pull this one. I can see that there's paint here. So I'm going to kind of get a tail to come on off this side too. Now let me get the torch out. Maybe I'll find a torch. Hopefully there's got fuel in it. Because I never know if the adults in my house decide they think it's going to be cool. Let me play with their torch. Nope, that's empty. How about this one? Torch it to get the lumps out. Now I'm just kind of rolling it around to see what's talking to me. What I'm doing here is I'm just encouraging it to pull on over the edge. Because like I said, I like my paint coming over the edge. I will, where there's areas that I need, I will bring the white paint in. There we go. So see how this is kind of swirled around here? So I like the way it wispies, but this is sort of dead ends here. So I just bring it out a little more. Look at that. That little comes out from underneath it. That was not what I wanted to do. I keep sticking my fingers in my paper towel that's got a lot of, don't realize it's got so much white on it from my hands before. So now I'm going to just run some along the edge here so that this will run over. This spot's not quite, there we go. I'm touching up the edge, as I've said here, kind of pulling paint. If it's got color, I pull the color down a little more. If it's white, I'm just going to wipe off and pull some around. This will be sealed with resin. This will be, when this is done, this will be my first, I shouldn't say first, but my largest resin piece like this. That's like, see, there's a lot of paint there, so I'm just going to pull some down and over the edge. Kind of fun to watch all of the stuff start to develop. And like here, this is sort of an area that's kind of low, so I'm going to pull this. Pull paint into that area. There we go. Just drop some on top like that. I've seen some people asking on some of the groups why, or asking how long you let your paint cure. Totally depends upon a lot. There's a lot of factors. Your humidity, the temperature, and where you're pouring the house, whether it be that inside, outside, what you've poured on, how thick your paint is. But just because it's dry to the touch on the surface does not mean your paint has cured. Just had a dump over there. All that means is it's dry to the touch. It's going to dry from the surface down. So because this has no breathing, nothing to breathe under, I'm probably definitely no less than a couple weeks. Unfortunately, I wish it'd be shorter, because I want this piece done. I have one more of these boards, or these Lazy Susans, and that one, I think I'm going to alcohol ink it. Won't swear to you on that yet, but that's my gut feeling. But as I'm sitting here, there's more and more cells popping up. I don't know if you have watched it or not, but it's pretty cool. I usually, after I'm done, take my video and I back it up and run through it by hand quickly, so that I can stop it a lot easier that way than it is to have it fast forward itself. Now see, there's colors here, so I'm going to be cautious and just pull some color up to pull it down now. There's some color on the bottom down here on my paper. And where there is, like, there's some areas here that the color has not come down on, so I just add white. I saw another comment or question on one of the groups asking, what do you paint the sides? I don't paint the sides on my pours, my acrylic pours. I allow my paint to come down and over the edge, because I like that look, especially on something like this. If I'm doing something where I know I'm not going to have a lot, I might paint the edge before, like this. I primed it, and it was primed white pretty much, but now this is one of those that I'm going to be watching like a hawk, probably, just because it's something that I've been wanting to do, and I've thought on this way too long, trying to figure out how and exactly what I wanted to do. Sometimes we just need to jump in. Like I've told many people, just do it. And that's what I finally decided. Quit thinking about it and just do it. The good old Nike commercial. Just do it. Almost. It is done. The nice thing about this Rust-Oleum is it has a little bit of texture. While on the flat surface it might not be ideal, it's kind of nice because the paint wants to stick to it on the sides a little better. I'm noticing it's not all running off and down. That's a good thing. Okay, once I'm done here, I'll just keep checking this for a little bit, making sure I don't have too much running off and down completely off the edge. So, woo! I've been head down too long. I'm actually thinking this has turned out kind of cool. Kind of cool. The next thing will be to keep fuzzies out of it. I'm going to torch it again. I got some bubbles I see. Well, that's not the torch I can use. There's something in it. I'm glad personally that it didn't want to run and shift a lot for me. Where is it? Guess not. It's the paint. Okay, I'm going to pause you, take you down so you can get some close-ups. Okay, here we go for some close-ups. I think this will be about a good height as I spin it. Stuck my finger in it instead of spinning. There's a lot of interesting things like that. Look at the metallic in this and here. This is going to be a real interesting piece. As happy. I'll torch this again. I see some more air bubbles coming up. Here's this section. Let's focus it again. There we go. At this angle, that kind of looks like a nose and a mouth, mouth x-ray type thing. I always love looking at these to see what all you can find. And at this angle, that looks like right here, kind of looks like a wild cat head snarling at me. So we're back to the start. I'll pull it up, let you kind of get it's going to be almost impossible to get a good overhead shot for me at this point with all the gear and things I've got. But I want to say, I'll bring it back down, that I thank you for watching. If you like my video, please click some thumbs up. That does help me. If you like what I do and like to see more, click the subscribe button. If you want to be notified when I upload some new video or something new, click the bell and it will notify you send you an email, or if you have an app, it'll notify you via the app. It can that a new video has been uploaded. And I want to also say again, thanks for watching, and thank you to all my subscribers. Until the next video, have a happy, joyous time, and get out there and create and have fun.